Hello, everybody. We're live. Welcome to the channel, Reallady Electrician. My name's Crystal, and I'm a retired electrician. Let's see. Today we're going to be talking about depression. Last week we just kind of chatted. This week we're going to go over some articles, and this will be like part 2. And then we're going to start a series on grief over, I want to say, I can't remember how many stages there are, but we're going to do, each day we're going to do a stage. So I think there are 7. So that's what we're going to talk about over the next few months. So anyway, I have my coffee in my Harry Potter Ravenclaw mug. I got my water, so I'm ready to go. All right, let's go to the article. It's Mayo Clinic, which is one of my preferred articles to get. So let's see, depression, major depressive disorder. So this year, I think every year, but what I have covered so far is that, for me anyway, depression is like layers, and each layer is heavy. So my first layer, I'm going to put it on my shoulder because that's where it seems like it gets real heavy. You're like, ugh, is depression. Now I take medication, so that layer is a little lighter. Then there's pain. I have arthritis, osteoarthritis, but my knees, I have no cartilage, nothing. I had surgery on one, and the other one is just bone to bone. I'm considering surgery on that one, but I got to tell you, knee surgery is not fun. So my pain level changes from day to day, and as it increases, your depression is going to increase because your pain level. Not only does it gives you the brain fog, you have trouble sleeping. So when you wake up, you're tired, trying to function with depression and pain. And so it's not like times 2, it's like times 10. Okay. So then the third layer is going to be everyday, whatever depressions. Car broke down, house is in foreclosure, or rent is due. I don't have the money. Those type of things, and that happens to everybody. But when you have those layers of depression, pain, even if you don't have pain, you still got your depression, then life comes in, and we're going to times it by another 10. It's not like times 3. It's like it's exponential. Because when you're already depressed, then that stuff comes and it just makes it I mean, I can't explain it, but it's not like, oh, it's a little bit worse. It's so much worse than someone who doesn't have depression. And then the fourth layer, what did we say was the fourth layer? The pain, the life, the weather, because of the time of year that it is. And that weather, and that's going to change. That's going to lift, and, depending on what you prefer for weather and things like that. So with it being January, we talked about how that is an added layer to our depression. So what I would like to do is to go to this Mayo Clinic article. And we can, nope, that's not it. We want to go here. I want it big so you guys can see it. There we go. Okay, overview, major depressive disorder. And like I said, the Mayo Clinic is pretty much a trusted source. So let me scroll down. There's a little video. We're not going to play that, but if you get a chance and you want to look at it, it's mayoclinic.org. And then this is depression. You would apparently, if you look it up, I put in Google depression. So, all right. Depression is a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest, also called major depressive disorder or clinical depression. It affects how you feel, think, and behave and can lead you to a variety of emotional and physical problems. You may have trouble doing normal day to day activities, and some days you may feel as if life isn't worth living. More than just a bout of the blues, depression isn't a weakness that you can simply snap out of. Clinical depression, in my opinion, that's me speaking, requires long term treatment, like forever treatment. But don't get discouraged. Most people with depression feel better with medication, psychotherapy, or both. And personally, I use both. Okay, let's go back. Hey, Joe, how are you doing? Oops, let me get my face up here. Good to see you. I sent your package today, and I will be sending you the tracking number when I get off here. So I hear my husband just pulled in. So, yep, today we're just going to go over the articles of depression. And I did text Miss Jamie, and I thought she might come. She did answer me. I'm not sure what she's got going on. Let's see. Nope. Jamie. Oh, she didn't answer me. She did answer me because I had to log in. You are welcome. And also, if you do not like what I sent you, I have no problem with you regifting that. Give it to someone who might want it. Like if you don't like the coffee, and then there's a little surprise. I hope you don't already have it. And if you do, feel free to pass it on, give it to somebody who needs it. I got so much stuff for giveaways, and then I stopped doing giveaways. It's just too expensive. It's cheaper to send a gift card to do the way we do the digital ones on Slumber Party. It's just easier that way. I had my back injection just during today. I have which is bad because steroid can boost the flu problem. Oh, well, that stinks. I know the steroids can lower your immunity, right? Oh man. Yeah. And the flu. And you missed that huge snowstorm. Is that correct, Joe? Yeah. Yeah. And I was out and about today and yesterday, so I got to make sure I take my vitamins when I go to bed tonight because I don't want to be catching and I didn't have my mask on today for some reason. Hey, Christina, how are you? I like to say one thing that helps me is music, happy music, soon as I get up. But the first I take like 15 minutes awake in the bed, prepping myself for the day. That is awesome. Christina, that's awesome. We got the first snowstorm, 10 inches. The second one was just a drizzle of snow. So you did get that snow, the one where they have in Louisiana and stuff. Yeah, they were showing videos on the news and they were like, this is not Detroit. This is Louisiana. And they got several inches of snow. Oh, so maybe that's the second one. But that's great, Christina. That is a wonderful recommendation. If anybody is here, they can, check that recommendation out. And just, I wish I was that organized. We're in the deep freeze in Illinois this morning. Oh, yeah. In Michigan, we got it too. Yeah. I think they said 7, but 6, 7. I mean, what's the difference there? Yeah, but I had to get out for a little bit. I sent the packages, and that was ice cold. It was cold. Okie dokie. So we were just talking about I think it was the we were talking about what the definition. I think we just went over the definition. If you guys want to hear it again, but we're going to move on to the symptoms of this. Okay. Yeah. And you know what I did do, Christina? I did change my alarm, my wake up alarm, to something very nice and soothing. And that has helped me quite a bit, I have to say. But that 15 minutes to be awake in bed, preparing yourself for the day, that is an awesome recommendation. So, okay, so let's go over the symptoms. Let's go over the symptoms. Although depression may occur only once during your life, people typically have multiple episodes. During these episodes, symptoms occur most of the day, nearly every day, and may include feelings of sadness, tearfulness, emptiness, or hopelessness, angry outbursts, irritability, or frustration, even over small matters, loss of interest or pleasure in most or all normal activities, such as sex, hobbies, and sports, sleep disturbances, including insomnia or sleeping too much, tiredness and lack of energy. So even small tasks take extra effort. That is me right there, right there. And if I don't take my nighttime medicine, I have insomnia. And then I sleep when I go to sleep, I sleep way too long. Anxiety, agitation, or restlessness. Slow thinking, speaking, or body movements. And I call that brain fog. Feelings of worthlessness or guilt, fixating on past failures or self-blame. That's that negative self-talk. Trouble thinking, concentrating, making decisions, and remembering things. That to me falls under the brain fog umbrella too. Frequent or reoccurring thoughts of death, suicidal thoughts, suicide attempts, or suicide. Unexplained physical symptoms such as back pain or headaches. Now, I'm coming back. So, excuse me. Of those symptoms, which ones would you say are most challenging for you? For me, it's the tiredness, the lack of motivation, and the brain fog. Because when I sit and I don't get something done, unless I give myself permission. Now, there are certain days I give myself permission. But if I do that too many days in a row, then I start to feel like, why can't you do this? Why can't you get the dishes done? Why can't you vacuum the floor? Why can't you straighten up? Why can't you blah, blah, blah? So that's a big one for me, is the negative self-talk, the tiredness, the lack of motivation. But with my medication, that all helps. Yep. Tired, motivation, and groggy. That brain fog, man. The grogginess. Like you guys have seen me here, and even today, I'm a little bit. I took my medicine about 12:30, so it should hopefully be kicking in soon. But the tiredness, and then you can't keep a thought in your head. Basically, is what happens, and or everything is dulled, really dulled. Like I often walk into another room. You guys probably do this too. I mean, everybody does it, but I do it all the time. Like I walk into another room to get something, and I'm like, "What was it?" So I have to go back and kind of figure out what I was going to get, and sometimes I don't. And then it'll come to me eventually. But that's when my brain, it's just like not, it's not sharp. It's blurry, groggy. It's foggy. It's, all the things. Um, and then I know also, Joe, I think the pain contributes to tiredness. At least for me, it does. Because when I am in pain, I don't sleep as good. And sometimes I think women have high pain tolerances. I don't realize I'm in pain until I'm in a lot of pain. Like I'm not sleeping well, and then all of a sudden I'm in a lot of pain. And I'm like, I probably was in pain for the last week and didn't realize it because I wasn't sleeping well. And now the not sleeping well is catching up with me, kind of thing. Yeah. So that also that makes the brain fog worse too. If you're in a lot of pain, that makes the brain fog a lot worse for me anyway. Um, okay, doke. So let's go ahead and look at some more. Okay, it's gonna describe the symptoms, I think, for us a little bit better. For many people with depression, symptoms usually are severe enough to cause noticeable problems in day to day activities, such as work. It affected my work so bad. That brain fog, school, social activities, and relationships with others. Some people may feel generally miserable or unhappy without really knowing why. Depression symptoms in children and teens. In younger children, symptoms may include sadness, irritability, clinginess, worry, aches and pains, refusing to go to school, or being underweight. In teens, may include sadness, irritability, feeling negative, worthless, anger, poor performance, poor attendance, feeling misunderstood, extremely sensitive, using recreational drugs or alcohol, eating or sleeping too much, self harm, loss of interest in normal activities, and avoidance of social interactions. Depression symptoms in older adults like us. Depression is not a normal part of growing older and it should never be taken lightly. Unfortunately, it often goes undiagnosed and untreated in older adults, and they may feel reluctant to seek help. Symptoms may be different or less obvious in older adults, such as memory difficulties or personality changes. And I think the reason that some of these symptoms of depression go undiagnosed is they think that they're just part of aging, physical aches and pains, fatigue, loss of appetite, sleep problems, loss of interest in sex, not caused by medical condition or medication, often wanting to stay at home rather than going out to socialize or doing new things, suicidal thinking or feeling, especially in older men. I didn't know that. Let's go home. All right. Yeah, that's what I think too. I think we're talking about the pain and everything we were just discussing. So that's interesting. Older men um have more suicidal tendencies, but um the next is going to be when to see a doctor and when to get emergency help. All right. StreamYard. Here we go. If you feel depressed, make an appointment to see your doctor or mental health professional as soon as you can. If you're reluctant to seek treatment, talk to a friend or loved one, any healthcare professional, a faith leader, or someone else you trust. Now, we've talked about that here recently with our bestie Zach, trying to get him to get back into to get into therapy and stuff like that. You guys know, you've been here before. Anybody who hasn't been here before may not know Zach, but we've talked about that before. When you need to see a doctor, I would start with a general doctor, but then when it gets severe, when you really, it's not just day to day, just I'm a little sad. When it's severe, that's when you have to seek out mental health professionals. And we've talked about that before, about how difficult it is to find a good psychiatrist or a good therapist or even just a good doctor in general. So, what we recommend here in our chat is that you don't give up on finding a good doctor. And if you don't like your doctor, go to another doctor. Don't just stop because you don't like the doctor. Find somebody else. There's somebody out there that is going to work for you. There is somewhere, someone. There's peer-to-peer counseling. There's, like we said, psychiatrists, therapy. You have friends you can talk to if you trust them. Um, just, don't just say, I'm just not going to go. We want to encourage people to seek treatment, because I'm not a doctor. None of us are doctors here, but we're here to support and help in any way that we can. Alrighty. Oops. When to get emergency help. Now, this is important. Anybody here, if you think you may hurt yourself or attempt suicide, call 911 in the US or your local emergency number immediately. Also, consider these options if you're having suicidal thoughts. Call your doctor or mental health professional. Contact a suicide hotline. Here's the information. Veterans, crisis. Reach out to a close friend or loved one. Contact a minister, spiritual leader, or someone else in your faith community. If you have a loved one who is in danger of suicide or who has made a suicide attempt, make sure someone stays with that person. Call 911. Or if you think you can do so safely, take the person to the nearest hospital emergency room. All right, we're going to skip down to causes. And I am interested in doing a series on suicide. I looked it up, and there are videos that have that in the title. So, and they are mental health professionals and things like that. So I still don't know if I'd get flagged. But I'm going to keep doing some more research, because that's going to be something very in depth and tricky, but we want to address it in a gentle way. If someone we're reaching out to, or if someone that sees our videos is feeling this way, we want to let them know this is a safe space, non-judgmental. You can say anything you need to in the comments. We don't tolerate trolls. We don't tolerate bullying, none of that. So feel safe here. I hear people say unalived. Instead of the S word. Okay, I'm going to write that down because I'm going to look it up. Unalived. That's in the future. But I will look that up as well. Yeah, just to reach out to anybody who might be needing help. And that's what we're here for. We're here to help people. And so, yeah, that's it in the future. But first, we're going to talk about depression. Then we're going to do all the stages of grief. I think that's going to take about 7 weeks, because I think there's 7 stages. So we're going to do that. And then we will approach this topic, and I'll try to do it as sensitively as I can. Just being someone, I can't say that I've ever tried it, but I have, in my deep, deep depression, I have thought of it. So I can't say that I'm the only person that's done that. I'm sure there are many, many people, and we need to know what it is when we hear it or when we feel it, how to deal with it, all that kind of stuff. And that's where that's when you see that deep, deep depression. That's when that comes in. And that's why they put it under the emergency. So thank you, Christina. I'll look for that unalived. All right, let's go back to this one here. Okay, causes of depression. Now, depression, it's a brain thing. So I'm going to come right back here and talk to you guys. It's a brain, you have, there's basic depression, but when you have a major depressive disorder, it is a disease. It's a disease in that book I told you about, the something, something 5. It has all the diagnoses for mental health issues. So, depression is a chemical imbalance in your brain. That's major depressive disorder. Now, everyone on earth will feel different levels of depression at some time or another, and those are normal. But if you are continually day to day depressed, that's when we're going to look into talking to a therapist or seeking help through our general doctor, letting them know how we're feeling. And that's when we may have to, well, we'll start with therapy and psychiatrists and then possibly meds. I know a lot of people don't want to take the meds, and that's fine. That's fine if that works for you. But I have a chemical imbalance in my brain, so I need to take the medication. And I feel so much better when I take it, more balanced. I can concentrate and focus. It helps with the brain fog, and it also helps me to sleep. It helps get rid of the intrusive thoughts, and I can sleep better at night. So that's me. But what do we say? Causes. The causes are going to be different for everybody. Um, so let's get back to the causes. Let me put you here. There we go. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see. Mine helps with everything but sleep. I do take additional sleep meds. So I have mental health meds. Let me come back so you can see me. So I have mental health meds. I take anxiety medication and depression medication. But then in addition, my doctor has given me meds to help with sleep. So that's my regimen. And when I don't take those sleep meds and my antidepressant at night, I can't sleep. I forgot to take them the other day. I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning. I said, you know what? I thought I checked my medicine. I don't think I did. So I went ahead and took it. Now I slept later than I normally should, but at least I slept. I mean, the next day I would have been miserable. So yeah, Joe, that's mine helps with that, but I know that your pain is much more severe than my pain, so that could also be contributing to the sleep issue with you. I understand that could also be why you have trouble sleeping as well. I read they're trying to bring ayahuasca type therapy to psychiatric care in our country. Not sure of the spelling. I know what you're talking about, Christina. Yep, it's we have a ketamine place here in Michigan, and I think that might be along the same type of because the ayahuasca causes it's like LSD kind of, right? It causes the um different things in your brain to occur. You have these visions and things like that. I've seen it. I saw it on. It was a documentary. Maybe I'm thinking. So, yeah, I think the ketamine is also used like that. I am prone to. Um, I don't know about the treatments. I've heard about the treatments. I have not personally myself used them because what's working for me now is working. But I know there are some people that the antidepressants, the sleep meds, and the anxiety meds don't help. So they have to go to more extreme treatments like the ayahuasca or the ketamine. Yeah. And the reason being, this is just my opinion, remember, just my opinion, is that everyone's brain is so different. And I know that the ayahuasca is supposed to be a natural treatment. It's not a chemical treatment. It's a natural, like a, is it an herb or a root or something? And they make the tea out of it. Um, but the ketamine is chemical, I believe. So, but I know what and then I've heard of the microdosing LSD to help with depression as well. Um, there are all kinds of treatments coming in, but I think the ayahuasca is the only natural one I've heard of. Um, So yeah, it's because our brains aren't all the same. Some stuff doesn't work for everybody. And so more severe trauma, more severe damage to the brain, I think needs these more intensive treatments. So yeah. And I don't know if that's how it's spelled either, but I knew exactly what you meant. So there is that. All right, let's get back to causes. Okay. All right. No one knows exactly what causes depression. As with many mental disorders, a variety of factors may be involved, such as, and they say may be involved because they really don't know for sure. The brain is, everybody's is different. They, there are basic functions, but everybody's brain is different. And also the trauma and things that we've been through, things that cause the chemical imbalance, which is what I think we're going to go through right here. Biological differences. People with depression appear to have physical changes in their brains. The significance of these changes is still uncertain, but may eventually help pinpoint causes. Brain chemistry. Neurotransmitters are naturally occurring brain chemicals that likely play a role in depression. Recent research indicates that changes in the function and effect of these neurotransmitters and how they interact with neurotransmitters and how they interact with neural circuits involved in maintaining mood stability may play a significant role in depression and its treatment. Hormones. Now, this is a big one. I think hormones have a lot to do with it too. Change in the body's balance of hormones may be involved in causing or triggering depression. Hormone changes can result with pregnancy and during the weeks or months after delivery, postpartum, from thyroid problems, menopause, or a number of other conditions. Inherited traits. Depression is more common in people whose blood relatives also have this condition. Research are trying to find genes that may be involved in causing depression. And I believe that I have inherited traits as well. I got the depression. My mother had that when I was little. And then the anxiety, my dad has always had anxiety. So, and he was an alcoholic. So we get, that stuff is genetic. And I have been anxious lately. I've been picking at my face. I'm trying not to do that. It's one of the things that I have. My family probably wouldn't admit it, but mine are genetic. Yeah. Oh, they yeah. Mine won't admit it either. My mother just recently, she is 70. Let's see. So I'm 55. I think she is 70 something, maybe 72, 70 something. I shouldn't have outed her just now, but she just started therapy. She was depressed when I was in grade school, high school, junior high, but she never wanted to listen to me. She never, would admit it. But my dad was a drinker all the whole time I knew him. And he was basically self-medicating because back then you didn't have anxiety or depression. You just had a couple drinks and you were fine. Well, he didn't have just a couple drinks. He had like a case. So yeah, they wouldn't admit it either. But she's finally coming around and she's enjoying therapy this time. She said before it didn't do anything for her, but she's enjoying it. And I'm noticing a change in her, a positive change. So I thank God every day for that. Every day. So yeah. They won't admit it. No, they won't. I know both my sisters have anxiety and my brother has anxiety and depression. He's been diagnosed. I have been diagnosed. My two sisters have not. One is in therapy, but she just does the video therapy. That's what my mom does, and but it's helping her as well. So, but yeah, nobody is gonna admit it, especially from way back then. Like, right, like when I was a kid, I was born in '69, so my earliest memory is of my dad drinking. They have a picture of me as a baby. I might be like one. I'm sitting in the yard with my dad, and there's a beer bottle. I'm sitting with the beer bottle, and they thought that was cute back then, right? You won't see that now, but that was in the what, 70s. So back then there were no problems. Yeah, back then there were no family problems, but they're finding that there is a genetic component. Okay, let's go back over here. One and one. Okay. Hormones for sure. Now I'm through menopause, um before menopause, premenopause, whew, was rough. And then let's go down. Risk factors. Okay. For me, depression started in my 30s. I probably had depression before that, but I was diagnosed in my 30s. So depression often begins in teens, 20s, or 30s, but can happen at any age, and that's true. More women than men are diagnosed with depression, but this may be due in part because women are more likely to seek treatment. And that's the truth, right? Well, there's a bunch of little birds in my yard. Okay. Um, Factors that seem to increase the risk of developing or triggering depression include certain personality traits such as low self esteem, being too dependent, self critical, or pessimistic. Um, Definitely low self esteem for me and self critical for sure. Traumatic and stressful events such as physical or sexual abuse, the death or loss of a loved one, a difficult relationship, or financial problems. Check all the above. Um, I would say for me, it was mostly emotional abuse. Blood relatives with a history of depression, bipolar disorder, alcoholism, or suicide. Um, I don't believe that anyone in my family, if there was a suicide, it was not divulged. So, being lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender, or having variations in the development of genital organs that aren't clearly male or female, is unsupportive in an unsupportive situation, and that definitely it's I think the kids get more support now, but there's still a lot of families who don't accept it, where back when I was a teenager it was not supported at all. Abuse of alcohol or recreational drugs. I definitely abused alcohol. Serious or chronic illnesses including cancer, stroke, chronic pain, or heart disease. And chronic pain is a big issue for me, and I know a lot of us here. Certain medications, such as some high blood pressure medications or sleeping pills. Talk to your doctor before stopping any medications. And now I told you guys I went to rehab. So everything that I take is non addictive, which was a good thing for me. Um, um, but I used alcohol to sleep. I was self medicating mostly. So I don't fall under the heading of alcoholic. What I fall under the heading of is ADA, adult children of an alcoholic. And I have a lot of the traits that my father had. But I'm able to stop drinking um, and not drink daily or weekly. I mean, I can go for months. I went for years without drinking. So I'm not necessarily an alcoholic. I still think I have an addictive personality though, because we were talking about shopping last week. Woo! I love me to shop. I went to the dollar store after I went to the post office. I was only going to be in there for a minute. I was in there for about an hour. I was not supposed to be in there for an hour. But just looking at everything and relaxing. And yesterday I went to Walmart. I was there for 4 hours. Don't ask. I had the cart. So I was able to get around with no problem. But they had clearance. I'm going to show you some if you guys want to see it. If you don't, we'll just keep talking about depression. They had elf makeup for $1. So I got a couple things. And so I had to get through, I was digging through the clearance, and that takes time if you're thorough, and I'm thorough. I got 2 hoodies, zip up hoodies. I prefer the zip up. Yes, Christina. Retail therapy. Yesterday was a big day for me. I hadn't been out of the house probably in a week either. So, but I had the cart. So if I don't have the cart and I have to push a cart, I'm only in there for about half an hour. But I had the cart. So I was just scootering everywhere, looking at all the clearance. 2 hoodies, $5 each for a hoodie in my size, comfortable hoodie. They're a little short, but for to wear like when I'm just putzing around the house, so comfortable. They're a cotton poly blend. But yeah, it was very nice retail therapy yesterday. And I didn't spend too much money. I got the groceries and stuff I was supposed to, but before I even hit the grocery section, I was in the clearance and all over the store. I stuck to my list mostly. Got a couple things I needed. And then I did get I only spent like $6 on that elf makeup, and I got 6 things. So I don't have a humidifier in here. I should have brought one in, huh? Oh. But yeah, had some retail therapy yesterday and today. And let's see. Okay, so let's go back and look at the article. I'm going to blow my nose real quick while I'm tiny. Complications. Sorry, guys. Really? This cough right now is because of the cold and the really low humidity. When I'm sitting in the living room and reclining and I've got the humidifier on me, I cough like rarely. Like I don't cough hardly at all. But I don't have a whole house humidifier, so it's got to be right there. And sometimes when I get hot, I never thought about that. Relate my cough to anxiety. Sorry, so sorry. That's the thing about doing lives with other people. You can excuse yourself. But you'll have to tell me more about how you figured that out. Doctor gave me cough meds. Wow. I'm not taking any decongestants. And I've only taken one allergy pill, but I have my nose spray. I'm really sorry, you guys. Oh. But yeah, I did figure out that it is the humidity as well. I'll have to pay more attention to that when I do have, if I have anxiety issues and see what happens. But as long as I take my medicine, my anxiety is under control. And I would have to tell you, you guys have seen me. My cough is yearly. I have a yearly round, uh, different reasons, allergies. Once we went from fall to winter in like November, December, it was sinuses. Now that it's so dry, my sinuses aren't dripping or anything. It's because my cough is so dry. I think I have maybe sensitive lungs. Is that a thing, you guys? I don't know. But smoke bothers me. When we cook, if I burn something and it's all smoky, on neck, not in neck. All right, you guys, we're going to look at the complications, see what that means. Depression is a serious disorder that can take a terrible toll on you and your family. Depression often gets worse if it isn't treated, resulting in emotional behavior and health problems that affect every area of your life. Um, Examples of complications associated with depression includes excessive weight or obesity, which can lead to heart disease and diabetes, pain or physical illness, alcohol or drug misuse, anxiety, panic disorder, or social phobia, family conflicts, relationship difficulties, and work or school problems, social isolation, suicidal feelings, attempts, or suicide, self mutilation such as cutting, premature death from medical conditions. So, those are complications of depression that isn't treated. There's no sure way to prevent depression. However, these strategies may help. These are things you probably need to do before you're depressed. Take steps to control stress. To increase your resilience and boost your self esteem. Reach out to family and friends, especially in times of crisis, to help you weather rough spells. I am close to my family and I do have some good friends. So, and you guys included, that'll listen to me even when you maybe don't want to. Get treatment at the earliest signs of a problem to help prevent depression from worsening. Consider getting long-term maintenance treatment to help prevent a relapse of symptoms. Okay, that's the end of that one. I'm going to close it. All right. Let's see, what time do we got here? 2:19. So we still got 40 minutes. So we're going to start. The next one is the next article I have. Share screen. Is the National Institute of Mental Health. NIH. Oh, hello. Hello, sir. Let's go back here so everybody can see how pretty you are. Oh, no worries, Jamie. Hey. So here's Mr. Teal. He often comes to visit us. Say hi. I'm so pretty and lovey. I love my mommy so much. No worries, Jamie. He's so silly. He was playing with the kitten. That's why he was late. Coming up. So cute. Alrighty. So the next article, like I said, is the National Institute of Mental Health, NIMH. It's NIH, National Institute, but I think it's also called NIMH. 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 National Institute of Mental Health. Okay. And their discussions on what is depression. Again, there's a video if you want to watch it. Let's see, how long is this video? Let's see. Oh, it's not showing. Yeah. StreamYard. Okay. Is that TILC? Tilk? Yes, it is. Yes, Jamie, it is. He's the only one who jumps up on me. You want to show everybody your pretty. Look how pretty his eyes. Hi. Say hi. He does look like a panther. Hmm? Hi. I just watched the Jungle Book live action. It was on what was it on? Like Freeform or something. It was really good. I didn't think I'd like it. But the CGI animals were really cool. And the panther reminded me of my cats. Hmm. You just making me cough, though. You must have something on you. Go on. Okay, thank you. Doggone it. I am so sorry, you guys. All right. So cold, right? Yeah. I wish I could play the video for you guys so I could. Yeah, it's only 7 here, Jamie. And Christina was saying it was cold there. And Joe got snow in Tennessee. It's wintertime, we just got to deal with it. It's only a few more months. I did get some stuff for spring. They got the planting stuff out already. I'm not a big Valentine person, but I got some pots for my front porch. So I'm ready for spring. Oh, your cousin in Florida has sleets. Yeah, they got a really bad storm all the way around there from like Texas all the way to Florida. They showed it on the news. Yeah, and they don't have the equipment to take care of that stuff down there either, so I guess everything shuts down. Okay. Let me go back over here to the article. National Institute on Mental Health. I think it's NIMH usually, but they've changed it to NIH for some reason. So depression. What is depression? This is their definition. Everyone feels sad or low sometimes, but these feelings usually pass with time. Depression, also called major depressive disorder or clinical depression, is different And that's what we were kind of talking about earlier, that everybody gets sad once in a while, but there's a difference between that and major depressive disorder. It can cause severe symptoms that affect how you feel, think, and handle daily activities such as, sleeping, eating, or working. It is an illness that can affect anyone regardless of age, race, income, culture, or education. Research suggests that genetic, biological, environmental, and physiological factors play a role in depression. Okay. This is mostly about their finding things about depression. But I do like their what's it called, definition of depression a little better than the last one, Mayo Clinic. Now we are up to 30 degrees. Oh, you're having a heat wave, Joe. I told my husband after this 7 degrees today. Once it hits 20, we're going to be like, whoo, it's like on vacation. We're going to be so excited about 30 degrees, 20 degrees, right? That's why you get those crazy people when it hits like 30, 40 degrees regular, they start wearing shorts in Michigan. So they think it's a heat wave. We got some crazy people in Michigan, though. I can't, I live here and I'm not quite right. So I think this is, Cleveland Clinic. That's another one of my favorites. I would say Cleveland Clinic is my favorite, then Mayo, and then the Institute of Mental Health. Let's see. But yeah, and we were talking about I wear flip-flops and shorts all year, Joe. But you don't usually have this 7 degrees, do you? I mean, this is unusual for you. You'd fit right in up here in Michigan. My husband, he like, even my thermostat is set at 63 and 64. And Joe said we have 2-ish weeks. Okay. So this is going to pass fairly quickly for you. We have another couple months of it. Rest of January, it won't warm up until March. It'll be in the freezing temperatures in February. End of February, we might stay in the 20s, 30s. But yeah, all of January and most of February, if not all of February. And that whole groundhog thing, I've lived here forever and I still don't understand it. I don't know. It's still cold. So, okay. So we were talking about, okay, my favorite sites. Let's see. I was starting this next article. Oh, there it is. The Cleveland Clinic. This is one of my go-tos. I really, we never have spring or fall, Jamie said. Right? Winter and summer. It's either 90 degrees or it's 10 degrees. Because you're right here with us. You're, because if I just go a little south and then I go east, I hit Pennsylvania. So you're getting weather that we had a couple days ago. Yeah. Okie dokie. All right. Let's see the definition from Cleveland Clinic. Depression is a common mental health condition that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and changes in how you think, sleep, eat, and act. There are several different types. Depression is treatable, usually with talk therapy, medication, or both. Seeking medical help as soon as you have symptoms is essential. Do we seek help as soon as we have symptoms? I think we uh I don't think we seek help. I didn't seek help as soon as I had symptoms. Whatever Jaren gets, we'll be getting. Yeah. Yeah. I would say we get symptoms first and then we seek treatment. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't, because sometimes you just feel like, it's just, I'm just having a little bit, just a tough time. And if it doesn't pass within a few days or a week, that's when we need to start thinking about consulting a doctor. So, alrighty. Depression is a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness, loss of interest in things and activities you once enjoyed. All right. We might need to just cut this short. Exactly. We're procrastinators. But also, I think as women, because when men get sick, like they can't do anything. But as women, when we get sick, we just kind of press on through, right? So that I think that includes depression and anxiety as well. But I would say if those feelings don't get better within a week or so, yeah, we do. We power through. I would say if you have a friend who's been suffering with depression for more than a week, I would think that is a sign. Tell me what you guys think. Do you think that a week is reasonable? Because I think everybody goes through it for a couple days, and then grief, of course, everybody. I think that's something that a lot of people go through as well. Next Wednesday, I'm bringing in my humidifier. So we power through, and then it could be like several months, and we're like, man, I still don't feel right, but I'm still doing everything I need to do, so we think it's still okay. I think it takes longer because women are usually stubborn. Also, we've been told our mental issues are nothing to worry about. Yes, that's a big one. You'll get over it. It's not a big deal. Maybe it's just you got your period or you're just sensitive, It's nothing to worry about. But so for me, it was months. I went through months of just crying and sitting on the couch. I would say after a month, I said, this something's wrong. Something's wrong. It took me a month. And that's when I started calling doctors and therapists and things like that and trying to get help. But then I sat for another 2 months because I was on the wrong medication. But I think that's, I'm sure I had depression before that. It's just that's when it became, how people have breakdowns. I think that was my breakdown, and that's when we decide, when we have the breakdown, we're like, oh, something's wrong. right? And they're trying to tell us to catch the symptoms early. I don't know something like depression unless you're crying every day, all day. It took me 9 months. See, Joe? Yeah. It suffering for that long. That's a long time. Oh yeah, I knew what you meant. I'm so sorry for all the nose blowing. I'm so sorry, so sorry, so sorry. I know it's gross. I know people get offended by it. I'm so, so sorry. All right. So yeah, why it takes us a while. We think it's just everyday whatever. And it's not like depression hits you like bam, you're depressed. Sometimes it's very subtle. Like they say that boiling of the when you put something in a cold pot and then you heat it up to boiling, they don't realize they're boiling until they're boiled. Whatever's in the pot, like a lobster or something. I don't know. But it's like that. It's like, maybe you just have a little bit of brain fog, and then maybe you just have a little bit of not interest, and then things pile up and pile up. And then you have that, like I said, I'm unable to do anything. I'm sitting on the couch, just bawling my eyes out. And they want us to catch it before that, but I don't know how you catch it before that. That is my question, I guess. In my mind, how could I have, and I'm always doing this, not to go back and rehash and like I could have, should have, would have. Now I used to do that. But now what I want to do is I want to learn from it and maybe help someone else not have to go through that. I've tried every day and still took 9 months. I just kept trying to walk it off. Yes, it does help if you have someone to listen, not fix me, just listen. You're right, Christina. Yeah, you're right. Um, you just kept trying to walk it off for 9 months, Joe. You are a strong woman. You are a strong woman. I see you. Thank you for coming in and showing everybody how pretty you are. But yeah, so I'm looking back and I'm thinking like how what's an early detection? Now, not when I was younger, but now you guys go to your general doctor every time. My general doctor prescribes my depression meds now because I went to the therapist and the psychiatrist and I got them right. So I'm good. If I need an increase or anything, though, I have to go back to my psychiatrist or therapist, and then if they change it, she'll change it. She'll just keep filling my prescriptions. So, but I don't know what signs I could say to somebody, well, if you feel this way, you're probably depressed. Now I read the article, I read it and everything, but how could I have prevented the breakdown? How I guess we know more now, but oh, so what I was telling you is when I go to my doctor's office, since she prescribes me the medication, she goes through a little every time I go, I get a little questionnaire about how I'm feeling. So that's very helpful. Back in the day, they didn't do that. But I don't know if I would get that questionnaire if I didn't take mental health medication. I need to ask her about that. Like, does she do that to everybody or just to people who are prone to it? Because what are you doing? No, he's trying to get my. No, no. He's trying to play with my ties. Pets are good for depression too. I began dealing quite a while. It's been a struggle. Yes, they help so much. And they also take your mind off of yourself. Ah, no. No, you're getting down. That was mean. You want to play and I'm not playing. Come on, disconnect. Disconnect. My okay, so she probably does it for everyone, but they didn't do that even when I was diagnosed with depression. They didn't do that. Your baby said your time is up. I know. I know. He's like, yeah, we still got 20 minutes. He'll be all right. But he wants me to be done. You're right, Christina. Yeah. I tell you, I love seeing your puppies. I love the pictures that you take of your puppies. They're so cute. So cute. We just have the cats now, but I do miss having a dog. But 3 pets is plenty. I'm not going to add a dog to that. So, yeah, Joe, maybe she does that to everybody now, but back when I did have depression, that wasn't something that people did. So, I guess I can't really compare back then to now because there are more tools in our baskets for us. There are more warning signs, like people are more aware of the signs of depression. Um, and it's not, except for some people, it's not looked on as a you're just making that up disease, where it was before. Oh, you're fine, just get up and move along, like you said, just walk it off, you'll be fine, that kind of thing. So I guess they don't do that anymore. So I guess comparing then to now is maybe not maybe not fair. So I wonder now, like like I told you, I have some family members. Now I try to educate my younger nieces and nephews. They all know I have depression and anxiety. They all know I take medication for it. I'm very open about it. I want them to be aware of it. And I didn't have that when I was younger. So maybe just the times they are changing. Maybe I should just be okay with that. But I look back in my journey and I don't know if I would have known early. I really don't. I was treated for anxiety before I was treated for depression. And I think I've had anxiety since I was like a little kid. But when I had the breakdown, that was depression. Um, and so, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's not a fair statement fair for me to go, well, back then, how would I have told? But now, my goal is just to tell everybody it exists, it is real, you can get help for it. And you can't just walk it off sometimes. Sometimes you can. And those are people who don't have clinical depression. That's just regular, like we said, everyday kind of stuff. So, so let's see. What did we say? We got 20 minutes. I want to show you guys what I got at Walmart. We got 15 minutes. So I'm going to show you what I got at clearance at Walmart. I don't have my jackets with me. I already told you about the hoodie. I'm the same way. Almost everyone is shocked I'm bipolar, but I tell everyone willing to listen to and that my meds keep me regulated. All right, Joe, we are on the train to educate. That's what we got to do. We got to educate. And I appreciate you and Christina and everybody who comes and shares their information because I think the education is what's going to help people. At least that's what helps me. Um, and yeah, people are shocked to hear that I'm on medication because I act so normal. And I'm like, but if I wasn't on the medication, I would be that crazy, you know what, that you don't want to be around. So there is that. And we've had that discussion where I've had friends that are like, you don't have to stay on medication. And I'm like, yeah, I do. I do. Trust me on that. And yeah, quit telling me I don't need to be on medication. So I got the 2 hoodies. They were $5 a piece. And what my friend, she works at Walmart, she said they got a bunch of stock in. If you guys have a Walmart near you, and the stock came in right out of the box, clearanced. So the $5 hoodie, great deal. They had these like You know, it's not a hoodie, it's like a jacket you work out with. That was $5 or $3 or $5. I don't know. But if you get a chance to go, now is the time. So these were $1.25. And I didn't, this is one of those things you don't know you needed, but I've been looking for stuff because I like to paint my toes. And I hate buying those foam things. So this is from Onyx, toe spacer and bath salt. I'm guessing it was like a Christmas type thing. They got in, it was $5, and I got it for $1.25 yesterday. That's why I'm telling you about this stuff now. So they're little toe spacers. This is the toe spacers, and I'm pretty sure you could throw them in the dishwasher so you don't get cooties, but you put these in between your toes for when you paint them. So I thought it was a great deal because the foam ones you got to throw away eventually. And it comes with these little bath salts too, which is nice, but I just wanted this part, but I'll use the bath salts, I'm sure. So if you're by a Walmart, I'm sure your deals will be different. But like all the Christmas clearance was gone, but they still had a lot of clearance, like she said. So I'm sure their warehouses are shipping out this stuff everywhere and it's on clearance. So the Elf, there was some stuff they discontinued. See, $1. These are lip scrubs. This one is the popcorn one, and it does smell like butter. This one, oh, that's a concealer. I got a cotton candy one and a coffee one because I love the Elf lip scrubs, and they're usually $5. So for $1, I got the Elf lip scrubs. So this is part of my retail therapy there, Christina and Joe. You guys understand the retail therapy, right? So, yeah. And I looked, and the brown sugar one is the same kind. Like last time I bought a lip scrub, it was in a regular lipstick tube from Elf. So these are nice. These are good too, but they have less sugar than the ones that come in the stick, or at least the ones that I've had before. But it smells just like butter popcorn. So got 3 of those, $1 a piece. This is the 16-hour camo concealer. And I thought that that was a nice match, yeah. And I got that for $1. And I've been wanting to try this monochrome multi-stick. This one is luminous, but it's berry, and this is a discontinued color for $1. And then I wanted to try the putty bronzer. And they didn't have my actual color, but Joe, like we said, like you said with the Charlotte Tilbury, just use it lightly. So I got this. Even though it's dark, it's a reddish brown, which is what I need for contour. I love the Camo Concealer. I'm so excited. I've never used it before. I never tried it because I don't usually buy e.l.f. stuff. So when I saw all this stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, it's time. Okay. So anyway, and the monochromatic stick, I like that because I've been looking for something I could throw in my purse and just use like cheeks and lips. But I still need foundation. You can see the scarring. I have been picking though, but some of this is scars as well. And I haven't been using my my acids like I should. So I got an eye. This is an eye, under eye coverage. Everything was dark colors. As I live in Monroe, and Monroe was a very, very light colors. But I thought this would be a nice color for a, not a bronzer. This is a concealer for a contour. And these are the putty products. So the putty products are cream, but then they end up drying powdery, $1. So I'm going to use that for contour. And like I told you, the regular putty bronzer in this Sun-Kissed, all I need is something with a cool undertone, basically. And this looked like it had a reddish Sun-Kissed undertone. I'm going to check this one out. I'm going to put a little bit on. So this is what the putties look like. They're cream, but they turn to powder. I wish I had a little scooper. So I'm just taking an itsy bitsy bit. And then, so just a teeny tiny bit. I think that would work as a contour or even a bronzer. But the thing about it is it dries powdery. And so I love the putty primer. Love it. So I had been and they had the putty blushes, but it just wasn't a color I was interested in. It was kind of an orange, and I'm a cool tone girl. So, and I just got the Danessa Myrick stuff. So I may do like a tester kind of thing and see the difference. I'm sure the quality is much different with the Danessa Myricks, but yeah, the putty, I've never tried. I used the putty on primer. I've never tried the concealers, and then this multi-chrome stick. I'm going to try that, and this is going to be really cool too. So that was part of my shopping expedition. And so $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 on 7 e.l.f. products. I was so excited. And these lip scrubs, I love them. So I grabbed all 3 of them. I just had to open them and make sure they hadn't been touched or anything. And they were fine. So at Walmart, if you get a chance. That tastes just like butter popcorn. Have you ever had this one from e.l.f.? The only one they have left on the regular shelf is the brown sugar one, which is really good. But these have more of a balmy texture than a scrubby, because this shape, when they had them in the lipstick containers, they were all sugar and but yeah. Tastes good. Not as much sugar in them as I would like. This is more like a lip balm almost. I do like it though. I had the cookies and cream one, and it was this shape, and it was a little softer. It's like the one that was in the bullet was firmer, and you could really scrub your lips really good. Hey Brandy, how are you doing? We were talking about depression today, but I was doing some retail therapy, and I'm not big on lip scrubs for some reason. You know, the reason I am, Joe, is because my lips get dry and sticky. A bit under the weather. All this winterness is just kind of weighing us down. Look at how bad my face looks. I look tired, and I'm just, yeah. But I get real dry lips, and so what I do is, like, I pick at my face. Another part of dermatillomania is your lips, picking at your lips and your cuticles. So I bite the dry skin, not even thinking about it, but I end up peeling regular skin off my lips, and they hurt. So that's why I use a lip scrub. It's more of a maintenance-y thing that if I don't do it, my lips are gonna really, really hurt. And I've tried the silicone ones, but the sugar ones that are firm, like I said, that bullet one is real nice. And the sugar in it makes it taste better. It tastes like the kettle corn kind of thing, butter popcorn with sugar. So I do use them daily, because if I don't, I get real raw from biting the skin. Yeah. It's part of that skin picking thing with me. And I do sometimes pick my cuticles. I try to use the nippers and not do that, but every once in a while I will get a hangnail and pull it. And I don't know if you guys know, but that really, the skin, it hurts. It hurts bad. And so I try to prevent those things. And I need to do some pimple patches is what I need to do, as I have been picking with all the weather and just stop life. Yeah. So I need to stop doing that. I wonder if it's my lighting is why my eyes look so. That's a little better. It's a little better. Can't wait till springtime. I know, right? I'm so bad. I love Michigan winter up until New Year's Day. And then like January, February, I'm done with it. Can't wait till spring. And then spring comes and goes so quickly. And then summer's hot. So I love the changing of the seasons. I just got to figure out some stuff like Christina was telling us earlier, some stuff she does just to help to cope with the depression at this time, during the year. I'm so done with cold temperatures, right? Hmm. Yeah, I think we're in for another week of really cold though in Michigan. Yeah. So it's almost time to go. Does anybody have questions about what we've talked about or anything they'd like to see? Like I said, the next one's going to be grief, and I think that's going to take 7 weeks because I think there are 7 stages, and we're going to get deep into each stage. Yeah, winter blues. Yep, exactly, Brandy. Hmm. And I wanted to show you my awesome haul. Can you see me just while I'm showing you this stuff? I'm just getting so excited. So, yeah. So I want to thank everybody for coming. I hope you had a good time here, and I hope you have a great week. Um, oh, I already showed everybody, Brandy, everything at some of the stuff they're discounting at Walmart. Some of the Elf stuff was only $1. So if you have a Walmart near you, I just got a bunch of stuff. The colors are limited, but I got a bunch of stuff for $1. You too, Joe. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for coming, and I hope this helped you because it helped me. And if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments. You can DM me on Instagram, Reallady Electrician. Um, and I guess that's all I've got for you guys today. So I will talk to you next week. And like I said, we're going to start with grief. And then in February, we are going to do a private live. So look forward to that if you enjoy the private lives. And I will talk to you later. Bye, everybody. Bye.